How goes it, everyone? I am the world famous Fat Kid, and we are doing Week 11 picks. With last week going 9-5, we got to come back from that. We got to get back to double digits. We're only going 14 games this week with the Atlanta Falcons, Indianapolis Colts, New England Patriots, and the New Orleans Saints on bye. Honestly, last week I picked a game of the week that I had thought had the potential to be the best game. I felt I had an argument with Cincinnati and Houston. This week I don't have a pick like that because they're all kind of junk. I mean, the two that I might pick would be the AFC North matchups, but they could get ugly. So, speaking of that, we're going to start off with Thursday Night Football. Cincinnati Bengals going into Baltimore to play the Baltimore Ravens. Both coming off of losses. One a little more heartbreaking than the other, and I would say Baltimore's loss was a lot more gut-wrenching. I'm going to take the Bengals because they went up against a good Houston team. Well, a young, up-and-coming Houston team, and they went down to the wire. They ended up losing on a last-second field goal, but I still see more promise with the Bengals than the Ravens. So we're going Cincinnati. Then we're going to go the Dallas Cowboys and the Carolina Panthers. This should be a bloodbath. Dallas should repeat of last week, honestly. I mean, that's not going to be good football. Anyway, we're going Dallas. We're going to move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns. Now, this potentially could be a good matchup because, again, it is a good defense against a good defense. Both offenses are I think the Steelers are just a little bit better. They're starting to get rolling. Even though they've been outgained every game this year, they're still, I think, 6-3. Either way, I'm gonna go Cleveland with their win that they had against the Ravens. To come from behind, they fell behind early, but they stuck with it. I think Cleveland's got the mojo going, and Pittsburgh beat a really bad Packers team. Or Pittsburgh beat a really bad Packers team. I hope I just repeated myself. Anyway, then we're going to go to the NFC North. Chicago Bears going against the Detroit Lions. Again, do I have to explain myself? It's going to be Detroit. I mean, Detroit, one of the 5 last-second field goals on Sunday against the Chargers last week, which that was kind of a crazy game. I don't see the Bears really doing much of anything. Yeah, they got their 3rd win of the season against Carolina, but that doesn't account for much now, does it? So, Detroit. Next, we're going to move on to Los Angeles Chargers going up against the Green Bay Packers. I think the Chargers have a much better team than the Packers, and it shouldn't be close. At least 10 points. So, Chargers beating the Packers. Straightforward, nice and simple. Then we got the Houston Cardinals, led by Kyler Murray now, going up against the Houston Texans. Even with Kyler Murray coming back and putting a nice charge into the offense and them getting a win, I think Houston takes this. They're at home. They're riding high. They're on a streak. Arizona beat an Atlanta team that just does not know their identity. I'm taking Houston. Next, Tennessee and Jacksonville. So, Tennessee lost to Tampa Bay pretty convincingly. and Jacksonville got the snot absolutely kicked out of them by the Niners. But one team is the San Francisco 49ers, the other team is the Tampa Bay Bucks. Those losses are not equal. AFC South showdown. Jacksonville's looking to stay in the lead in the division, and I'm taking Jacksonville. They're going to bounce back. They're going to take it out on Tennessee, who, honestly, they're not very good. Levis may be the quarterback of the future, but that showing against Tampa Bay shows he has a lot of growing to do. So we're going Jacksonville. Next, we're going to... This is going to be a test for both the Las Vegas Raiders and the Miami Dolphins, because are the Raiders under Antonio Pierce a good team? If you look at the Sunday night game, no, not really. They squeaked out the win against the Jets, a very good Jets defense. But or are we going to see Miami? Which team for the Dolphins are we going to see? The 6-0 against losing records, or the 0-3 against winning records? Granted, Raiders are 5-5 right now, so they're 500. It's a coin flip to find out which team we're going to see. I think Miami has the better team. More speed, more talent. I love my Raiders, but they're going to get absolutely demolished, and it's going to suck to see. So, Miami. Then we got the New Jersey Giants and the Washington Commanders. Yeah, Washington coming off of a tough loss to Seattle. Howell played really good. That's all I can say for them. That's really their only bright spot. I mean, Robinson did very well too, but and I mean, the Giants. Anyway, we'll move on from that. Washington gets the win. So then we go Tampa Bay going up against San Francisco. It'll be interesting to see if Tampa Bay's defense can slow down the 49ers offense, which I'm not saying they're officially back. They had a really good game against a defense that had a lot of momentum in Jacksonville. But I don't see Tampa Bay beating San Francisco. So we're going the 49ers. Okay. Then we got two prime time losers. The New Jersey Jets and the Buffalo Bills. I mean, we know about the Jets. Their offense stinks, but they have a really good defense. The Bills, they're showing flashes of greatness on both sides of the ball, and then they just choke it away. I don't know what's going on with the Bills, but I have to assume that they are going to win. They are better than the Jets, although the Jets beat them in week 1. Crazy play, but I'm going Buffalo. I'm not 100% confident. I'm not even 90% confident, but I'm going to pick Buffalo. Next we go NFC West. Seattle Seahawks, Los Angeles Rams. This one's tough, because if it's Stafford, I'm taking the Rams. If it's not Stafford, I'm taking the Seahawks. But I can't do that. I only can go off of the reports that I've heard or that I've read. Stafford is going to play, so I'm going to take the Rams. If he doesn't end up playing, it's the Seahawks, but it still counts as a Rams pick. The Seahawks are just, they're a weird team right now. Like, they're good, but they're not great. And when they play the great teams, they get absolutely beat. It's weird. But since it's a division matchup, I think the Rams are going to win. They have a high-powered offense if Stafford is actually running it. So then we go Sunday Night Football. The revitalized Minnesota Vikings going up against the suddenly surging Denver Broncos. Crazy. I wrote Minnesota off 3-4 weeks ago, said their season's done, they're over. Sorry Vikings fans. Better luck next year. And all of a sudden they're back. Okay, they're in the playoff talk. They're not in the division talk yet. Because Dobbs has just dragged them into the win column a couple times so far. And, I mean, they're a game and a half behind Detroit. So there's a chance. Meanwhile, Denver, all of a sudden, what is it? Two wins in a row, right? No, 3 wins in a row. I believe Packers, Chiefs, and then the Bills. Crazy ending to that game. The weird thing is, they both have momentum on their side. It's going to be in Denver. And I'm going Minnesota. I think Dobbs is giving them a much more potent oomph of energy. Meanwhile, Denver's just kind of riding an overall good streak. But I think Minnesota's going to get the win. They're the hotter hand, in my opinion. Next, we got the Monday Night Football game, the rematch of last year's Super Bowl. Philadelphia Eagles going into KC and taking on the Chiefs. Philadelphia has struggled in games and still found ways to win, except for the Jets. It happens. Every team gets beat by somebody. They just so happen to get beat by the Jets. And the Chiefs, something's going on with their offense. They're not exactly as potent as we are used to seeing. I think that is the case for Monday night. Philly has the better overall team, the better overall game. Philly is going to beat Kansas City. It's going to be a good game. It will be a good game. This is my game of the week. I normally try to pick one on Sunday because, the primetime games are supposed to be good. Supposed to. NFL sucked at this year. But Philly and KC, it's going to be a good game. I think Philly gets the win. So there's my picks for week 11. Got them locked in. There's no turning back now. So with that being said, I hope to see you in the next one. And until then, it is what it is. See ya.